Hello, today's Bible study comes from the book of First Corinthians, chapter 3, verses 10 through 15, and reads as follows. By the grace God has given me, I laid the foundation as a wise builder, and someone else is building on it. But each one should build with care, for no one can lay any foundation other than the one already laid, which is Jesus Christ. If anyone builds on this foundation using gold, silver, costly stones, wood, hay, or straw, their work will be shown for what it is, because the day will bring it to light. It will be revealed with fire, and the fire will test the quality of each person's work. If what has been built survives, the builder will receive a reward. If it is burned up, the builder will suffer loss, but yet will be saved, even though only as one escaping through the flames. Amen. Well, Paul starts off steadily talking. He says, according to the grace of God, and he's just describing how his work is working among these Corinthians. It's through the grace of God. And he's telling you it's God's grace that has done this. He knew who he was. Paul never tried to be any more than what he was, a servant, a worker. And he was in God's field working, as he said in the previous verses. And he also knew the building. And all of this is based on God's grace. Something we don't deserve that we receive. And Paul knows he doesn't deserve it, but he received it, as we all do. And we should be happy when we are working for God and with God. And it doesn't matter your status in life to be a worker of God. All of this, and Paul said it again, but all of this goes back to the simple fact it is according to God's grace. And he says, I have laid the foundation. And Paul talks about, hey, I've been here with this church. I've set you up. He said, I've set out that foundation. And the foundation that I set up is based on the foundation of the word in the first place, and that is the work of Jesus Christ. But Paul said, I know others are going to come by and preach to you and teach to you and share with you about the work. Let them add good to the foundation. And he says, so let one take heed how he builds on it. Let me just put this in short, easy, simple to understand terms. If it's not built on the foundation of Jesus Christ, it ain't a part of his church. Can't build on another foundation. Now, you can do these things and say you're building on the foundation of Christ, but we know they are lie and false and not true. And there will be people that come by and have you struggling because you're still with milk. But it can only be built on the foundation of Christ. Each person's work will be clear. You got to test in this. God gonna see how you're building, holding up. And this is for all the workers. This ain't for one. So everybody's work will be clear. Some gonna have some precious stuff, and others gonna have unworthy materials. But as he said, gold, silver, and precious stones, the building is truly what God builds in the people. And he builds more into them with the help of the fellow workers. See, you can have gold, silver, and precious stones, And in this case, these stones, Paul is not saying these precious stones are jewels, but the fine materials. You know, the wisdom of God in the work, the building of the church based on the truth of Christ. See, and then when you look at it, you got to understand that he's saying, hey, look, man, these precious things that you build with are good building material, but straw, no, no, hay, no. See, that's an inadequate building with straw and hay. And he's saying in that same voice, stay out of human wisdom, because that's where they go to. The hay, the straw, the wood is the human side, the fleshly side. They may do you well in this life, but they don't help you build up the church of Christ. See, that gold, silver, and precious stones, these are the building materials that are used in the construction of this temple that God is building. They're precious. The things that you receive will be precious. The fire will test each one's work. Uh-oh. And when that fire hit it, it will be revealed what kind of work you've been doing. Now it tells you fire gonna destroy the wood, the hay, and the straw. Keep staying manly. Keep staying manly, but not the gold, the silver, and the precious stones. So some of us on that day, he gonna say, you didn't really do any work. Paul is speaking very plain English to them. And we got to work at it. And when he says he himself will be saved, yet so as through the fire, some will be saved. And but Paul kind of puts a comedy, makes me laugh on it. He says, but barely saved, and saved with everything gone. If anyone's work this fire does not purify the worker, it tests their quality, their workmanship. This is not anything to do with cleansing you. It tests your workmanship, period. This is a lot of times where people get confused about other places we go to when we die. When we die, we go to the ground and we wait until the Lord calls us. We are at rest. So this is him, this work, the fire will not purify the worker. It tests their workmanship. Amen.